Hello, it's been a minute. So today is September 9th, actually. It's like the 999 portal, September 9th, 2025. 2025 added together is 9, so 3 nines. It's like, I don't remember exactly what it is, but astrologically it's like the end of a cycle or end of the cycle, beginning of a new one. And I'm coming to you actually, if you've been keeping track of the dates at all. It's September 9th, and this is likely going to come out just a couple days after. Previously, I had like maybe banks, like 3 weeks of content that I had been keeping all together. And I took a little break. Just because I had to. I was having a lot of fun making these videos, and I'm going to continue. But in that time that I've taken off, I've shifted and kind of like allowed my energy to flow elsewhere. And a lot has happened. So what are the big updates that I can share with you? Finding space and rest is so important. I know I've said this before, and this is like literally that in action. So when I took myself out of this regular kind of like grind or hustle, it wasn't even a grind or hustle, but just that regular of having to like upload the videos or first of all, record the videos, which is okay, right? Like it takes like 10-15 minutes, but then some of the last couple that I had put together, there's a little bit more production behind it. So adding music, adding a little bit of light editing in there with that software. And then like downloading it, uploading it onto YouTube, making descriptions. Like this is kind of the process that I was going through day after day. Because of that time, I was able to batch and do some of those together. But then, you know, in the end of summer, there's a lot of things going on. The kids are getting ready to go back to school, and just summer's winding down. There's kind of that end of a season, and a lot of things kind of happened there. So I needed that space. I took it. And in that space that I created for myself, I actually got onto TikTok a lot more. Before that, if I take you back a little bit before starting to post again on TikTok, I started doing a little bit of the inner work, a lot of what I'm doing for others. The interesting thing that I found is that I've realized that when I'm in the problem, it's difficult to see the solution. So I know all of these tools, and at some level, it's like, oh, I'm capable of helping other people achieve results, get shifts. I've done actually about 5 or 6 sessions at this point with this specific methodology, which I'm calling the focus session. It's actually been really interesting because everybody's been a little bit different in terms of what they needed. And I think that's something that I am very proud of, to be able to step into a space and provide something that's unique and individual for my clients. So understanding that I can do all of these things for other people, one of the thoughts that I had was like, I could do this for myself. I can do this. Like, why not? I know all of the tools. And at the same time, it's like when I'm living in it, it becomes challenging. It makes me think of like, you might be the best surgeon in the world, but you're not going to operate on yourself. So part of this whole journey was looking at how I could ask for help. And as I moved through that journey with all of the ups and downs and ins and outs that I had gone through, I reached out to Christian, who is a quantum hypnotist, a Reiki master, and a life coach as well. And I was like, why don't we help each other out? Like, let's just do these sessions so that we can use these tools and start moving forward in our business. So we did an exchange, and we're continuing to do that exchange. That piece was really helpful. Another piece of the work is like actually taking that time for myself as well to go ahead and reflect on, I found another program by someone named Victoria Song. I had not heard of her, but she came up on my Instagram and I liked the sound of the program. And the way that she works that I was looking at was like, oh, this is really similar to some of the work that I do. So I engaged in that and I was like, oh, like this work is really good. And that was another piece that moved me closer to that goal. The other thing that was interesting is like I will use ChatGPT to look at how to like kind of like structure my program, put my ideas, just kind of make sure that it makes sense. And some of the protocols that I had come up with, I really liked, and I hadn't really tested it out. But one day I was just asking the question, the prompt was, what do I want to be when I grow up? And ChatGPT responded with, hey, this sounds like a perfect opportunity to make your own statement of core presence. This is this thing that is basically like the flagship end result of the Haizhen transformation program. I was like, oh, interesting. Let's work through this. And as I worked through it, I came to this clarity of how I wanted to show up and how I wanted my energy to manifest in space. Ultimately, it's to be a lighthouse, to be a signal or a signpost of what people see out there and show them, kind of shine the light in the direction that they need to go to. And I think that all of this work is building up to that, specifically making content on YouTube, my previous content on Instagram, which I've neglected, and then recently what I've been doing on TikTok. So on TikTok, I just started making videos and speaking my mind. One of the pieces in my statement of core presence, and it would have been nice if I had pulled it up before this because I don't remember it off the top of my head. But one of the things that really is sticking with me is how I wanted to move was to move with precision, to be precise. Like that's how I ended up with about 71 videos in a row, like daily. And hopefully, I think that can continue for a little while longer. But then moving with precision to me means considering specifically the approach, having that kind of aligned action. So I started getting on TikTok again, and precision in the moment of making those videos was actually interesting. It was just basically speaking my mind directly. One of the things as a projector, and a projector with the 4323, the channel of structuring, is that sometimes the insights and things that I might share could potentially land in an uncomfortable way for somebody who's not ready for it. The thing that I realized was on TikTok, if you're not ready for it, you could just scroll away. So I just started saying things that were on my mind, speaking my mind. I was talking about doing the thing, getting out there and just taking action. I talked about spirituality, about awakening, and how awakening is a constant process. A lot of times I would hear people talk about like my awakening in whatever time period. And then in that time period, it's like the awakening is one thing. But to me, awakening is like a constant process. It's almost like every day when you go to bed and then you wake up in the morning and you see new things. At the simplest level, awakening is just seeing a broader perspective. So anytime that you're seeing more and seeing a bigger perspective, you're waking up to something new. Simple as that. Those videos began to get traction. Like I started getting likes and follows. 2 days ago, 1 or 2 days ago, maybe 3 days ago, I had surpassed 300 followers on TikTok. And that was so exciting. I was like, what is happening? I remember looking at it before and I was at 295. And I thought to myself, like, I wonder like when it's gonna happen. And in that moment, I thought about like making like, oh, should I like make some content right now so that I can like get up to 300? And I didn't. I paused because space is important. So I paused, and then when it felt right, I started making a couple videos again, and now it's continuing to grow, which is really nice. The other really nice thing is I've been able to connect with some really quality people, and it's just kind of going from there. I've naturally had a opportunity to say that I offer this service. I can help you either understand your human design chart or work through blocks, because like we all have them. And there's people reaching out to me interested in sessions. And I have to say that it's not surprise, but in some ways I'm also surprised. Like, oh, it is real. People are interested in this. People do want this thing that I'm offering. And I'm so grateful. So that's kind of been like a whirlwind summary of what's been happening over the last number of days. Kind of was in a space of like, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna make like another video, and that's okay. And that's why I'm on here now. Like I just needed to do the thing again. So the message that I'll leave you with today is take time to make space for yourself. Take time to rest, make some space, and then when you're ready to, do something, whatever it is. If it's big, if it's small, it doesn't have to be a big action. Just literally do anything, which is exactly what this is. So thank you again for being here. I'm feeling ready to get back into my studio, into my office, and like set up and create some content for YouTube. Finishing off this reflection series, this Haizhen log series, and then considering what's next. So that's kind of where I've been. It's nice to have you here, nice to see you, and we'll see you again soon.